Dobro Jutro, Divine Pisces 222. It is Thursday, December 19th, 2019. Do an energy check-in for the Twin Flames today. And still have a couple of spots left for the private mini-read session that I'm going to do this weekend. I still haven't figured out which day I'm going to do it, but I'll definitely let you guys know. It's really going to depend. I finally got internet in my apartment yesterday, so yay. But I'm trying to be in there this weekend, so hopefully I'll be able to actually do one from my apartment this weekend. Alright, so first card we've got out is Saturn. This has been a repeat card for a while, but I feel like it's definitely highlighting at this point the release of control, finally. There's still some control issues still coming in from, both twins, but it's not, I don't feel it's as intense as it was. I feel like both twins are just kind of, at a point where they're releasing expectations, releasing control of situations that they're in, or that they're trying to end. Cycles being ended and things like that, which is definitely highlighted, or has been highlighted for a while, the ending of cycles. So that being said, still feeling some insecurities coming through here, some doubt, some fear, feeling kind of a little off kilter, but I feel like, that's to be expected. Anytime a change comes in, it can throw you off. I feel this is for both Divine Feminine and Divine Masculine, but for the longest time, again, like, Divine Masculine was holding on. Now they're just like, whatever. Whatever's going to happen is going to happen, right? I still feel a little bit of back and forth, though. Just a little bit of juggling happening here with, with final decisions and things like that. So some indecision coming in. Definitely feeling some hot and cold energy, so hot and cold communication between the twins right now. So if you are in communication, I feel like it's probably, I'm going to say probably a little guarded right now, but for both, not just masculine, not just feminine, but both twins kind of guarded in their communication right now. But I do feel that the connections themselves are very highlighted right now. Obviously, this is the twin card. So that being said, I mean, just keep in mind, it's easy to fall back into old patterns, especially when you get communication. So just be very aware of that and try to balance yourself out, okay? But those of you who have not received communication, I do feel, again, you're going to be getting some very soon. Still, again, some control issues still coming in, but not as bad. I feel like mostly the control issues have to do with the 3D aspect of life, like material possessions, money, and that sort of thing. A lot of Divine Masculines are still in this energy of being very worried about money, very worried about their finances, being stable, and that sort of thing. And right now, things don't feel very stable. So that's part of the control issues that are coming in, where, kind of releasing control, but still at the same time, still a little bit worried about finances and money. And that's being very, very highlighted here, which could be bringing in some purging, maybe, feeling the loss of money, especially if you moved from a situation where you were codependent financially. Kind of feeling the loss of money can bring up, its own set of emotions and fears and things like that. But I do feel both twins really embracing their spiritual side here, really understanding the messages they're getting from Source, opening up that third eye and learning to trust it a little bit better, especially Divine Masculine. I do feel Divine Masculine's getting success, though, in their situations, and they're seeing that, and so that's why they're kind of learning to trust their intuition more, because it's like the more they trust it, the more things seem to be kind of moving along for them, right? Divine Feminine, really kind of standing in her power right now, just kind of going within, doing her thing, feeling really, really passionate about herself right now. A lot of new beginnings for Divine Feminines are happening right now within themselves, like codependent cycles and things like that are ending. And of course, Divine Masculine does see this, okay? So whether it's in the 3D or the 5D, and they could be spying, you know, that's a thing. But they're seeing Divine Feminine, and they're feeling Divine Feminine's power, and she's really kind of coming into her own right now. I also feel the 5D communication just seems to be getting stronger and stronger and stronger. I would say very vivid dreams for both twins, probably. Divine Masculine definitely getting more dreams, I feel. And I feel like they're really paying attention to them now. Now, some of them may not remember their dreams necessarily, but I do feel like in their waking life they may see something that might trigger a response or some sort of memory of a dream that they may not even quote-unquote remember. So things like that kind of happening. So, but again, really embracing the spiritual aspect of things and learning to trust intuition, learning to trust spirit, and kind of going with the flow right now. So both twins in this energy of just going with the flow at this point, embracing the journey, not really worried too much about the future except for maybe money issues, which mostly is coming in from Divine Masculine, but Divine Feminine's there too, okay? So it's not just Divine Masculine, but but yeah, really embracing the spiritual aspect of things. That's a big deal, especially for Divine Masculine. So let's see here. Let's see what's going on with Divine Masculine today. Definitely crazy shifts happening, guys. For the better, for sure. Still a little bit of anxiety, though, I say. Yeah, Divine Masculine seeing success, absolutely. Now, some of them are actively putting in the work. Some of them are actually doing inner work, like meditation, karmic clearings. They may have actually researched, you know, stuff like this, like on Google or YouTube or whatever. So they might actually be watching tarot readings and you know, doing things like that. Really trying to center themselves and trying to find a way forward. But I do feel they're seeing success. They're seeing probably a shift in themselves. They're seeing a change in themselves into what it actually means to be happy, regardless of the 3D aspect of life. Okay, but some of them still are very worried about money. They're working on that. Some of them are building up their own foundations right now. Some of them have been very codependent for a long time. And some of them have somebody who's codependent on them. You know, so they're trying to get to a place of stability, and that's what they've really been working on. I do feel with Divine Masculine, for the longest time, has been very, very unstable. And I feel like they've been almost, not only they've been programmed to have a fascination or a underlying need for money or finances and things like that, but it's almost become an obsession, I think, for a really long time. And so, that being said, that's a really hard cycle to break. That's a codependent cycle within itself, okay, within themselves, right? And I feel like Divine Masculine is trying to break that. But still, the money aspect seems to be kind of the theme right now for Divine Masculine as far as his anxiety, his worries, and that sort of thing. But they're being triggered to move forward. They're being triggered into action. They're being triggered to build up their foundations, to work on themselves, to find what makes them happy, and to fulfill that. Okay? So a lot of them are triggered into action. And again, some of you may be receiving communication, okay? There's some player energy kind of coming in here. So possibly some sexual communication, that sort of thing. Because I definitely feel the sexual energy is very, very strong right now. Sorry. But yeah. I mean, Divine Masculine is working. Like, they're cutting away things little bit by little bit by little bit. Okay, some of them not fully integrating their truths into their lives, so to speak, but they are understanding their truth, okay? And they're trying to integrate it within themselves, okay? Even though it's not outward, it may be inward. They're like, okay, yeah, this is, you know, this is what it is, you know, and they're starting to, again, accept and understand their own truth as far as, you know, their situations. They're in a toxic situation, they want to cut it out. You know, so they're really paying attention to the messages they're getting from Source these days. I do feel. I do feel there's still a lack of or a lack of understanding from some of it, but I feel like they're trying to understand it. That's where some of that meditation may be coming in. And they may actually be reaching out, you know, if your 5D communication is really amped up, dreams and whatnot, they can be reaching out to Divine Feminine in the 5D to kind of help them understand. So I do feel that that's a thing. So they're still reaching out in the 5D for help of, you know, of some kind. Because some of them do feel a little defeated right now, especially in their karmic situations. Some of them, you know, they've been holding so tightly to the karmic situations, and the karmic situations are ending anyway, no matter what they do. So they do feel really defeated about that. It's like they put in all this effort, they put in all this time, they put in all this energy to this situation, and it's just falling apart, right? So they do feel a little defeated about that. And some of them do feel defeated in the connections, you know. Some Divine Feminines have walked away from the connection, and they're feeling defeated about that, right? But Divine Feminine's like, no, I mean, I'm doing what I need to do, and where we're at right now is, you know, it's not serving me, so I'm going to focus on myself. And Divine Masculine's like, help, 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 help. Right? Help me, Queen of Wands, help me. But yeah, I mean, looking to Divine Feminine to help lead the way. And Divine Feminine's been doing that, you know, and I feel like they're really waking up to this fact that Divine Feminine has been doing the work. They have been shifting. They have been putting in a lot of effort into themselves, but also healing the connection. And so that sexual energy kind of coming in again, you know, and they do see, you know, most Divine Masculines do see their Divine Feminines in this light right now. Like, doing their thing, really, really strong, you know, moving forward, really passionate about what they're doing, passionate about themselves, and it is triggering a response. Now, some Divine Masculines may be jealous because of that, you know, because Divine Feminine's doing her thing and they're stuck in a situation maybe they don't want to be in, but that's a good thing. It's a trigger. It's a, you know, a way to move things forward. All right, so let's take a look at Divine Feminine. Yeah. Yeah, Divine Feminine's definitely been in Ten of Pentacles, so we've got mirroring, of course. Yeah, Divine Feminine's been also working on her abundance, okay, and we know this, you know, a lot of Divine Feminines are really stepping into mission, they're getting success in their mission is growing, things just seem to be kind of falling into place for Divine Feminines, and she's been doing the work and really focusing on herself and on helping others and helping herself, really. But I also feel, you know, because of this, she's healing the connection, and the connection is getting stronger, okay? So a lot of you may be feeling that, almost like a sense of peace, or even if you're not in communication with your Divine Masculine, you still feel like that, that kind of friendship aspect kind of going back and forth, right? And I feel like Divine Masculine in general is really missing the friendship aspect, you know, especially if Divine Feminine has walked away or stepped away or whatever, you know, kind of working on her own path here, you know, whereas Divine Masculine's kind of stuck here. Divine Feminine's like, no, I'm going this way, bye. You know, so Divine Masculine's like, aw, don't leave, right? But Divine Feminine's like, well, I mean, I've got my own stuff to deal with, right? I've got my own karmic cycles to end. I've got my own abundance I need to lift up here. I've got to get my vibration up, you know, and there's only so much I can help you if you're not going to help yourself, that sort of thing. So a lot of Divine Feminines, again, have kind of walked away because of that. Because I feel like when you put in all this effort, when you put in all this energy to the connection, and you're sending energy, and you're sending healing, a lot of times Divine Masculine feels like he doesn't have to do it himself. So I feel like a lot of Divine Feminines have walked away because of that, because it was actually hindering Divine Masculine. It was keeping him stuck. It was keeping him stuck behind this fence, right? So she's like, all right, well, you know, I'm going to go and do my thing, and you can figure it out. You know, I had to figure it out. Ooh, just skipped, so Divine Truth. Divine Feminine's like, I had to figure my stuff out. I mean, you know, tit for tat. So... but yeah, a lot of karmic situations ending for Divine Feminine, and Divine Feminine's really, I do feel some divine feminines are focusing a little too much on the money aspect as opposed to the mission. But I mean, that's something that, you know, if you fit in that category, if it resonates for you, you know, you got to work on that. And you're probably aware of that, okay? Because that's a codependency too. And yes, I mean, building up your abundance does have to do with money. I mean, this is a 3D world. You know, you do have to have something to help you get by, obviously. But when you focus on yourself and you focus on your mission and you focus on manifesting that, that's when the abundance comes in, okay? So try not to worry too much about that, divine feminine. So we do have mirroring here, okay? So we got a lot of pentacles here. So there is mirroring with divine masculine on the money aspect of things, okay? But divine feminine celebrating. Divine feminine's feeling that inner union happening, okay? Feeling that balance, feeling that inner alignment, okay? And having control over the emotions, you know? And a lot of divine feminines have been dealing with third-party situation, okay, on their end or with their divine masculine, possibly both, okay, and they're recognizing that and they're trying to end that, okay. I'm feeling a little bit of, yeah, definitely feeling a little bit of regret coming in for divine feminine right now. And that could be because you are walking away from a third party. You know, and some of these situations are not easy to walk away from, you know. So I do feel some regret coming in for divine feminine. But I don't feel it's super overwhelming. I feel like divine feminine is recognizing this and she's working on it, right? And so, okay, so we got more mirroring here, Page of Swords. But yeah, I mean, and divine feminine is again, you know, slowly kind of getting back to integrating the truth in her life. And I know for a while, divine feminine, you know, there was some not saying resistance, but like wanting to fully speak her truth, but not really quite able to do that to those around her yet. Okay, so there are some divine feminines out there who have not yet fully spoken their truth to those around them or fully cut away things that they need to. But I feel like, again, you know, there could be some information coming forward that might help you do that, some maybe some truth coming in, not just from Counterpart, but maybe from Source. You might be getting some aha moments, right? Things are being illuminated, illusions are being shattered right now, which is bringing in more and more truth, right? But yeah, I feel a lot of divine I feel a lot of divine feminines are really feeling their ascension at this point. Some divine feminines are still going through ascension. I feel like some have recently gone through ascension and you're really starting to see a change. And I feel some of you may have received some information about your counterpart from others. Good or bad, take it as it resonates. But I feel like it's I wouldn't say necessarily a cause for concern, but more of a just like a, oh, okay, well, I guess that makes sense. You know, that sort of thing. But yeah, divine feminine, still a little bit of toxicity for divine feminine here. And this could be, again, having to do with the, you know, the focusing on the money aspect sort of thing. Okay, so be careful with that. Make sure it doesn't become a cycle, okay, within itself. But divine feminines, you know, I feel like a lot of divine feminines are getting to where they recognize toxicity before it even starts, and they're like, okay, no, I'm not going to do that. Like, I don't want to be in that energy. However, you know, if you're maybe kind of back and forth with your, maybe a little bit of obsession coming in, that sort of thing, try to wrap that up. Maybe you're worried a little bit too much about your divine masculine's karmic situation, you know, that sort of thing. Try not to worry about that stuff, guys. Don't even think about it. Like, they've got to deal with their own stuff. You deal with your stuff, okay? Focus on you. Focus on you. Okay? If you feel like that's something that's resonating for you and you're like, oh my gosh, I need to step away, step away. Step away from the connection, okay? Focus on something else for a hot minute, okay? Let divine masculine deal with his karmic situation, all right? And he is dealing with it. Divine masculine is dealing with the karmic situation. They're figuring it out, all right? They may have to go within. They may have to do a little bit of hermit mode, so to speak, you know, but a lot of them are meditating. A lot of them are going within to figure out what they need to do next, okay? So just try to keep yourself centered and don't worry about it, okay? Because I feel like that could be where the anxiety is coming in for Divine Feminine, absolutely. I feel like a lot of Divine Feminines are still worried about their counterparts' karmic situations. Don't do that. Get off social media, okay? Yeah. Get off social media. Alright, let's get some messages from the counterparts. I've had a few people tell me that I need to slow down. I'm like, well, I'm not going to sit here and hold a card for 5 minutes. I'm not trying to be a jerk, but like, if you can't read it that fast, just pause the video. It's YouTube, right? Alright, let's get some messages and advice from Source. Okay. Yeah, new beginnings. Yay! Yay, new beginnings! And of course, you know, we got the New Year's coming up after Christmas and whatnot, so a lot of new beginnings, of course, with that. Starting a new year. But again, I feel like, and of course this is a 2, which is fantastic, because next year is 2020. But I do feel, and I've said this before, next year is going to be a self-reflection year for a lot of people. I feel a year of peace coming. And I find this interesting because, and I've recognized this for years, I have a thing for even numbers, and I have always noticed that odd number years tend to be challenging for me, whereas even number years are usually years of peace. So it's like I'll go through a difficult year, which 2019 was not an easy year, right? And then the even years are a lot smoother. So that seems to be a thing for me. I don't know if it's for anybody else, but I find that interesting. And the fact that the significance of 2 in my life is just, it makes so much sense, right? But yeah, so just keep that faith, keep that trust, okay? And Divine Feminine, I think, really has come a long way with this. I feel like, even though every now and then, you know, she slips, you know, and is like questioning things and stuff like that. And it's okay to ask for a sign. It's okay to ask for help, just to give you like some validation that you're doing the right thing. There's nothing wrong with that, but definitely trust that you're being protected. Trust that you're being guided, right? Trust in your own sovereignty. Trust in yourself. You're coming into your power. Trust your intuition more, okay? It's a lot stronger than you think it is, right? It's a lot stronger than you think it is, you know? But a lot of times just accepting things as they are right now, and that's okay. Acceptance is the first step to surrender as far as I'm concerned, right? You accept first, and then you release. Accept, trust, release, right? So acceptance coming in, definitely. And again, I feel a lot of Divine Feminines really feeling a lot of movement in their mission, okay? And they understand the co-creation aspect and what that actually means. And manifestation is a part of that, of course, but the co-creation thing is kind of a step up. You're a co-creator with Source, right? And I know that I always put this in my description box, and I haven't recommended it in a while, but I always recommend Jupiter 1111's Manifest Your Divine Masculine playlist. It's not just for masculine, it's for anything in your life. And she talks about co-creation and how that works, and it's really, really interesting. But yeah, some of you are being triggered into action. Some of you are being triggered to move forward, Divine Masculine especially, but I feel Divine Feminine too. So some of you are definitely being triggered to move. You may be getting some signs with that, some synchronicities and things like that, so just follow it, right? If the universe is pointing you in a direction, just go, okay? Trust. Alright guys, thank you so much. If this has resonated, please like, share, subscribe, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.